It's another day, another dollar. I'm happy to be back in the studio today. I am joined by no other than high school state champion, NCAA national champion, NBA draftee, overseas dog, player of the year. I got AJ Bramlett in the studio. How you doing today, AJ?
Hey, doing well, man. Appreciate you having me, bro. Looking forward to it.
And I'm going to be in Vegas for the beginning of the tournament, that first week. Yeah. Did it last year, made a little cheese, won a poker tournament at Westgate. So I'm going to be back out there, doing my thing.
Hey, there's no better time to be out there than that first weekend, man. That's the best time to be out there. It's so much fun, right? I haven't been able to go because that's when the state tournament is usually, but it's definitely, I've got some good memories of being out there during that time too, bro.
and that's perfect. That leads us into our next topic. That's actually how we connected, how we started chopping it up, was talking about high school basketball around the area. Your son Drew, who's been putting on a show this year, has one of the most fluent games that I have seen in New Mexico. He can use his left, he can use his right, he can attack the rim, he can pull up, he can shoot from deep, he can facilitate, he plays great defense. I'm like, man, what doesn't he do? He looks like a future Arizona Wildcat, if you ask me.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. Yeah, he's a good player, man. He really is. He stays in the gym. Like, he loves basketball. This is what he wants to do. And so, I tell him all the time, it's that work that's going to separate you. So, it's 5 a.m. workouts, lifting weights before school, getting extra shots afterwards, and, doing everything you need to do to take care of your body. You know how it is. It's all those things that you need to do. It's so competitive out here nowadays, in the high school scene. It's hard for high school guys, with the way that college is structured now, and guys being able to go wherever they want. And, you got to really be on top of your game to get a good opportunity as a high school player. And so you have to pay attention to all those details, like we talked about earlier. And you have to love the game, and he does. And so, it's fun. Culpepper's gotten a lot better since the beginning of the year. They're playing well now. Had some big wins, and we're excited for the tournament coming up. But we still got a hard game on Wednesday against Santa Fe up there at Santa Fe, which is going to be a tough game. And the district has been really hard this year, so it's been fun. But New Mexico high school basketball is on the up, man. There's a lot of talent around the state.
Facts, a lot of talent. I got my guy Pierce Culpepper in the studio. I knew I'd have a good opportunity to talk to you, and we were going to talk some high school ball. So I said it's no better time, on an off day for him to bring one of the best young hoopers in the area to the town. So I brought my guy Pierce in, and also another guy with a real fluent game. I was just chopping it up with him. I told him the first time I saw him play, I was like, yo, this dude reminds me of kind of like a Cooper Flagg type of player. He's only 15-year-old sophomore. I'm like, he kind of reminds me of a Cooper Flagg type of guy. Taller, he's able to facilitate. What I love most about his game is that he knows when to turn it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He knows that he has to keep his team involved for the whole game. You need your guards going. You need guys knocking down shots. But in those big time moments when you're when you have an 8-point lead and they cut it to 4 and your team needs a bucket, Pierce knows, all right, I got to get this damn ball. I got to make something happen. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one of the special talents I think with players have at a young age, because it's hard to figure out that balance, right? Guys want to be super aggressive all the time and score the basketball if they have the ability to. But the guys that can really, do like what you said, like Pierce can do is, control the game and really get your team. Know when a guy hasn't touched the ball in a little while, he needs to get a shot, to get a bucket, to get him going. Even if he's a defensive guy in your team, get him something to get him going. And then be able to figure out, okay, now I know, now it's my time. Let me go, take care of this, close these games out. That's a special thing for young players, because you don't see it a lot. You see that it takes a lot of time to develop that normally, and when certain kids have that earlier, it's a real advantage for them.
Facts. And we kind of talked about the New Mexico basketball scene, with the high school kids. I'm from Houston. I live in Cali when I'm not here in New Mexico. Out here, it seems like the coverage for the kids isn't necessarily what it needs to be. I started working with Prep Hoops, and something I noticed is these kids don't get covered the same way that some of these other states do. And I'm noticing we got a lot of talent in this state.
Yeah. That's big facts. I'm gonna co-sign that right now, and that's why people like yourself and what you're doing to cover our kids is much needed and well respected, man. Because these kids are out here working too, and we have a lot of talent. It's been this way since I was in high school. When I was in high school, my senior year, we had probably 10, 11, 12 D1 guys, high D1 guys, that came out of New Mexico from all parts of the state. And so, there's still talent out here like that. They just need to be, put the light on them and show what they're doing out here. It's getting better, with what you're doing, and but you really, as a kid, and this is what I tell my son too. And you have to promote yourself too, man. You have to put yourself out there. It's part of the game now. You have to, work at that. That's part of your job too. Is actually promoting yourself and making sure people are aware of what you're doing because. There's so much information, right? Coaches are getting that every day. Okay, I'm on emails and everything that you just have to be consistent with it. Make sure you're doing the right things and highlight yourself when you can. You know what I mean? Be a champion of yourself. And then, with the work that you're doing and the spotlight that you're putting on our kids, that's only going to grow because there are kids that can play here. There are a lot of kids with talent in New Mexico, and they deserve opportunities. And so thank you for what you're doing. Continue to do that because it's much needed across our state.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. For real, for real. Like you said, there is so much talent, and I enjoy covering these kids, man. It gets me excited to see all of these kids kind of grow. I've started covering them in like November, December, and I got to watch kids like Drew, kids like Pierce. I've seen their games grow tremendously. Yeah. Over time. And I know you as a father, that's got to be the best feeling in the world, especially watching Drew. I know you got another one. I haven't seen the other one play, but I have seen Drew.
Yeah, Dalen's actually he's a freshman at New Mexico State now, man. He's my older one, so he's down there going to college, doing a great job. But Drew's been this way since he was a little guy, man. He's always loved it. Been playing since he was 6 or 7, and always wanted to put in that work. So he'll keep grinding, man. He'll keep pushing. We're excited for the rest of this season, and then summer ball will be fun too. We're on the Adidas Gold circuit with the Runway Jets with Jason Terry's team, so we'll be out there playing. Josiah Wilson is one. I know you know Josiah pretty well on our team. Charlie Wills and Big Jerry Moody over at Highland. So we got a pretty good team, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to cover that team. I've talked to the Jets program, the organization, a little bit, covering some of the kids, Josiah Wilson, your son, and some of the other kids. That team is loaded. Y'all gonna make some noise this summer.
We're excited, man. We did well last year, kind of jumped on the scene and played well. Now we're trying to get up to that 3 SSB, so we gotta play well early in the stops for Adidas this year, and hopefully we can make a move up. So that's our goal.
So I gotta ask you, as far as Drew goes, I saw you talking to Mike Bibby and discussing the whole Bronny thing and all that. Is Arizona the goal? It's got to be.
I mean, he would love to play in Arizona, man. You know what I mean? Like he would love to play there, but he'd love to play at UNM. So it doesn't for him. And I asked him this the other day. He said, "I want to go to where a coach is gonna, put the most into me and let me play, and that thinks that I can help his program the most, and then go from there." So, I think that's a good perspective to have. You always want to go where you're wanted and where you're going to be able to, show your skills, especially in today's game. You can move up from anywhere, nowadays, which wasn't an option when I was playing.
Yeah.
So you were kind of stuck, where you wanted to go, and if you transfer, you had to sit out. All that's gone. So if you go and perform well, you're going to have an opportunity to move up. So wherever that opportunity comes, we'll keep working for it, and hopefully it'll land in a good spot with somebody who really wants it.
Yeah, like I said, I live in LA. I got the chance to watch UCLA versus Prairie View. And Prairie View had this dude who was killing. Obviously, PV was losing the game, but this guy was winning the game, okay? And I'm like, yo, who is this kid? Whole time, he's an NAIA transfer from down the street in Houston, Texas at St. Thomas. And, yeah, he got the opportunity to transfer from NAIA to Prairie View, and now he's on the big stage, killing, making a name for himself. So and we're seeing that all across the board. More D2, NAIA, JUCO. We're seeing more transfers come in and make an immediate impact on these teams, and it's never over. As soon as you get somewhere, you still have an opportunity, like you said, to move up.
It's a totally different game, man. You know what I mean? When I was in college, you chose your college, and you were pretty much there.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can go anywhere you want to, and so if you're playing well, you're justifying that move up. Your opportunity is there, which I love.
Exactly. And like we said, I got my guy Pearson here. I wanted to give him the opportunity to ask you a question or state whatever he has for you. I don't know what he got for you, but here you go, Pierce.
What would you give to me to help me get to where I need to be to get to the next level?
Yeah, I mean, Pierce, good to meet you, man. And I love your game. Keep doing what you're doing. I think the biggest thing is just like what we were talking about earlier. It's just the extra work. It's really the work is going to determine how far you go. And so, being in the gym early in the morning, lifting weights and getting extra shots up, staying after practice, taking care of your body, doing the things that every day is going to separate you a little bit more from everybody else in this group, because people will fall off. They'll stop working. You know what I mean? And if you have a routine where you're always the hardest worker and putting in extra time, that's going to separate you in the long run. So from where you are now to where you are, later on in your career, it's just every day a little bit more. And then you're going to for sure end up where you want, because you already have the talent and that type of things. It's just the work that starts separating you as you move up levels and start playing against better players.
Sir.